Out of the 8 billion podcasts that claim to talk about sports, 99% of them talk football and basketball. And that's about it. That's because they don't know about anything else. And they bore you to tears. Welcome to the Sportsocracy, the Ocho, where sports meets comedy, sports analysis, laughs, and the occasional debate that'll likely blow the roof off. We're rowdy and loud and bringing the party straight to your ears.
The party has arrived.
And by the way, you don't have to be a sports fan to like this show, because we're pretty damned awesome, even when we're not talking sports. From baseball to hockey to wrestling to the UFC and beyond, we love it, and we're talking about it. And now your hosts, Armchair, hailing from Canada. He's a sports encyclopedia. And Dubs, the quintessential masshole who's always down for some lively banter and a little bit of the green stuff. And we're not talking about the outfield grass. Let's rock this. This is the Sportsocracy, the Ocho.
What is up, everyone? It is, of course, Armchair and Dubs. We are here. We have the new intro music. Let us know what you think of the new intro music. I'd be curious to hear people's input on that. We're fans, obviously. Working on the video intro to go with it next. Hey.
Piece by piece. Brick by brick.
We're building her up.
Yes,
minute by minute. That's what we can do.
Healthy this week.
Hey, look,
we're back.
You're there. Hard AF. How can we go wrong? Appreciate
exactly.
Did anything happen in sports over the last week? Did something happen?
There was something. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was there's a cucking of an entire country.
All right, so I don't even know where to begin with. I'll begin off with the easy part. Shohei-san, Ohtani-san, the phenomenal two-way player, signed with the LA Dodgers, which is like the most predictable thing on planet Earth. I, to be honest, my original opinion was the Giants. I thought, no way he's going anywhere but the Giants. And he proved me wrong. But the Blue Jays were used as kind of a pawn to get the Dodgers rolling a little harder. Apparently, a leak from someone at CAA stating that Shohei was on a plane to Toronto. The entire country was in a frenzy. Like, is this a reverse Kawhi? And far be it from us to not be excited about a generational talent allegedly coming to your favorite team's city to potentially make an announcement and sign his contract. Now, it turned out to be Robert Herjavec. If you don't know who that is, he is he's been on Shark Tank and Dragon's Den.
Not who that was.
He's real rich, real rich, PJ rich. Not Shohei Ohtani. And then, like, the next day, he's like, Dodgers.
Is he Shohei Ohtani rich?
Yeah. He's richer than Shohei Ohtani, I would say. Because, he's not making $1 million per year, $2 million per year.
Right.
Big deal. What was your reaction to the deal? What is up? Mr. Green actually showing up on this is we're in the slowing down season. Jeremy's getting ready for draft miss. And draft miss is the most intense time of year for Jeremy, because it's usually the most exciting time for him, and it's going to be for us because the Jets and Patriots are both awful, so we're going to be picking very high. So, merry draft miss, Mr. Jeremy. Happy to see you. So, Shohei, what'd you think? $700 million.
It's a lot of fucking money.
Let's get into the defers after, and I gotta talk about John Heyman, but $700 million for a guy that takes up at best 2 roster spots, coming off of a Tommy John, and is not going to pitch for you for at least a full season. and then he does I'm not mad at him because it's 680 million deferred. He's deferring 680 million till 2034.
You thought Bobby Bonilla Day was bad.
Well, Bobby
Wait
Bonilla
till you
Day
got-
ends 2035, and I saw the most appropriate tweet. It says Shohei Ohtani Day will take over in 2034. I love
Inflation,
to see
baby.
a peaceful transition of power.
Oh,
Jeremy's about to cut his finger off vegetables.
hanging on by a thread. I almost cut my finger off last year. I was at work. I sliced right through it. Thought I had fucked it up pretty good. Needed to go get stitches, and yeah, we didn't go to a doctor. We did a little Sopranos backdoor little.
You go see a vet.
I cannot confirm or deny, but you're on the right track.
Listen, dude, don't worry about it.
I'll say I was home in 45 minutes, though.
That's fantastic.
No
Even with
rooms.
$680 million deferred, this deal is a bad deal for baseball. And I am going to tell you right now, I'm big mad. Not only because the Jays got like mega deked out of this, like mega played, and I'm all for the gamesmanship of free agency. All for the gamesmanship of free agency. I appreciate it. I understand it. You want to get the most money. You cannot tell me that Shohei Ohtani is some innocent bystander in this. He making $700 million. He wanted the most. So let's not pretend that he is Saint Shohei deferring $680 million for when he's not playing, because it's not what it is. What I'm more mad about than even the contract is the notion that playing for the Dodgers is good for baseball. Let's remind everybody again where we live. I'm on the East Coast. Which coast are you on again, Dubs?
The East Coast.
Also on the East Coast, right? Where do the New York Yankees play?
The East Coast.
East Coast. Where do the fabled Boston Red Sox, the Bo Sox, if you will, where do they play?
That would be the East Coast.
What about?
But they reside in the dumpster of the AL East right now.
What about the Chicago Cubs? Are they more east or west?
I mean, they're smack dab in the middle.
Right dab in the middle, but they get East Coast games, don't they? They get East Coast time slots, don't they?
They do get East Coast games.
Yeah. So how many Shohei Ohtani games are you going to stay up for at 11 p.m. First pitch, 10 p.m. first pitch when Shohei's playing the Colorado Rockies?
I'll watch the first inning or two while I fall asleep. That'll be it. Unless there's not a better hockey game on.
It's not better for baseball that Shohei Ohtani is on the West Coast again. He was on the West Coast for 6 years. And the only time he got any media play was when he came to large markets. Speaking of large markets, Canada's an entire fucking country. John Heyman can kick rocks. I understand he is a New York, LA guy. And if it's not the Yankees, it better be someone else. John Heyman, and I quote, in an actual article, in a real life, he published this piece. This was actual news. He put this in writing and he hit publish. And an editor said that's okay. The Jays are a fine team and organization. They've made the playoffs 3 of the last 5 years. How many times have the Angels done that? Right. They haven't. Angels are trash, and Shohei was on the Angels with one of the most generationally gifted athletes of our entire time, Mike Trout. They did really well with that. They couldn't stiff the playoffs. 3 of 5 years for Toronto. One of the best offenses in 2021. Incredible, I think third best rotation or like fifth best rotation in 2022. No, it's okay. Toronto's just fine. They're fine, right? Toronto is a beautiful city too, but for non-hockey sports, there's a small time feel to the space. Did you watch the bat flip? Did you? That's and I mean, like 92 and 93 are a long time ago.
The Raptors finals.
Someone didn't see the Kawhi parade shot because someone didn't see the picture from the parade where it was in the glasses and the entire city behind him.
Yeah.
Toronto is anybody that's never been. I'll just let you know, it is as big as
It was a
as
nightmare.
Boston. It's as big as Boston. It has a subway system. It's not as big as Chicago or New
The
York.
subway system was a nightmare.
It
I
is
had
a
no
nightmare.
idea how to operate it. Nothing.
Shout out
I'd
to
ride the
TTC's
train all the
trash.
time in fucking Boston. I could not.
Yeah, because
figure out.
listen, let's not talk about the T like the T
Yeah,
is
we
like
don't have to do that.
some success story. Let's come on. I've been to your cities.
Oh, it's not great. It's horrific. I know it's bad, but that's what I'm saying.
The TTC is particularly bad. But what I'm saying is Toronto is a great city, and it is a baseball city. And in fact, it's been like the top 3, I think, in terms of total attendance, not percent of attendance, because I've seen people be like, well, percentage of sellouts, it's not there. And it's like, right, but they're selling out 41,000. Like,
Right.
Toronto was the first team to 3 million. To 3 million fans. They didn't it's not an accident. This team is good. The team has talent. The team could have won. And it's a tragedy that CAA decided to push this LA narrative. Shohei wanted to stay on the West Coast, and that's his prerogative. But to use Toronto that way was awful. And what's even worse is watching American doorknob donkey-ass reporters putting bullshit in the New York fucking Post as if they're ever allowed in the country again to come cover the Jays. We'll see you in the playoffs next year. Never mind. No, we won't, Heyman. Get out of here. God damn John Heyman. He sucks.
Morosi was on your shit list, too.
Morosi's on my shit list because he ran with the source to try to be first, and he didn't verify it.
He
Morosi
was like
apologized.
8 hours early, and everyone was like, are you sure?
Morosi apologized, though, and that's the difference.
Oh, did he?
Heyman came out after everything
and
happened.
Doubled down.
And he was
Patrick
like,
Mahomes.
He was like, Toronto sucks. I get it. I wouldn't go there either. And it's like, he's like, it's small time. It's like, bro, you can't drive a car. Get out of here. You need to be in the city. You need to understand it. And yes, the Maple Leafs are, for a time, they were it. But the Raptors won a championship. Toronto FC has been a perennial playoff contender. The Blue Jays, since the bat flip game, have been the draw in the city. There are more Jays fans than Leafs fans occupying that space. Maple Leaf Square turned into Jurassic Park real fast. And for an average Toronto Raptors team this year, still pulling weight. So I can't deal with this nonsense trash talking for the sake of trash talking. I can't stand it. I think that it's lazy ass reporting. And if you're going to call yourself a journalist, do some actual fucking journalism, research what you're talking about, and lead with facts. If you're not going to lead with facts and you're going to talk about it in your opinion piece, talking about small time field, then you can suck a donkey.
Suck a donkey t-shirts.
I told Dubs that I might get banned from America, but we'll see.
Sorry.
I have breaking NBA news, and I know that's the main show's thing.
I saw that. I wish we had a button.
Yeah, we don't have a button. We're not doing Tank's stupid dance. So, Draymond Green suspended indefinitely. LOL.
Indefinitely.
Draymond doing Draymond things.
He got literally. That's like he was getting defense played on him, and he turned around and swung.
Yeah, he's a baby.
It's fucking ridiculous.
The
Warriors are bad right now.
Yes, they are. There was a few more free agent signings. One that was notable, but everybody else has kind of been. I'm surprised at how slow it's developed since the Ohtani signing. I thought there would be more. Tons of minor league deals.
And with the Dodgers are now rumored with everybody, as they always are, but if they trade for Glasnow and they ended up signing Yamamoto, is that good for baseball? I don't think
no, it's not.
I'm not gonna want to watch.
No,
we won't. I don't like
Jung-Hoo Lee to the
Jung-Hoo
Lee to the Giants is the big one. That was 113 for 6.
Yeah,
6
I don't know
years
much
at
about
113.
him either.
He's a slugger. He's a slugger. Yamamoto, I hope comes East Coast. I don't care
Red
if he
Sox.
signs with I don't care if he signs with the Sox or the Yankees or the Cubs.
We need him so badly.
The Jays. Someone said the Jays should go after Yamamoto, and I was like, can't do that again. Better go after Bellinger and actually do something this time instead of chasing pipe dreams. You Ross Atkins, mother Christ.
Angry armchair. Today.
I'm so mad about it's the people talking the mad shit about the city and the team as if they haven't beaten their ass every year for the last 3 years. Stone Cold doesn't care what.
Stone Cold doesn't. It doesn't matter what you think.
Hey, we had a little bit of big news in the NHL as well. Kind of ties into the NBA. Was it Ted Leonsis, I don't know, billionaire rich asshole from DC, wants to move to Virginia.
Yeah.
He wants to take the Capitals and the Wizards and move them that way.
All I've seen on Twitter is people bitching about it.
No one's happy about this.
Nobody.
No one is happy about this. Apparently, it's over $100 million difference. He wanted $600 million from DC, and they offered him $5 million. And now he says, "Okay, I'll go to Virginia," which apparently is for lovers.
I have heard that.
I've just heard, not for hockey and basketball though.
Chima, who I did the show with last night, who was also super angry, and he said he was more machine than man. So the same vibe going on here. But regardless, he's from that area, and he said that it would be an absolute fucking hike for fans in DC to get out to go see them play.
No one travels between the two, despite the closeness. There is a
Right.
connecting rail. No one uses it unless you have to use it. Like I visited. And
I went in 8th grade.
And very few people were on it. Like it just doesn't. No one is like, oh boy, I can't wait to get out to where the highway. Like you're moving it to the boons from the city. It's a city team. I don't know how you can take the Capitals out of Washington.
Yeah, it's a wild move.
They're the Capitals.
They're the
capital
of the country, which is where they play.
Not
the New Jersey Jets.
The capital adjacent Capitals. Like they're not.
Yeah.
It's pretty boneheaded. I think that he's going to get a lot of backlash. Apparently, he's doing this to drum up that extra $100,000.
100 million.
100 mil. Sorry.
Imagine if there's over 100 grand.
That'd be even better. That would be even better.
No, I'm out. I'll go to Virginia. Fuck it. They'll love me. Somebody's gonna.
Last thing I wanted to talk about here before we get into our power rankings. David Perron.
That whole situation was wild. So
I'm gonna let you cook here.
Dylan Larkin got fucking KO'd by Matthew Joseph. Cross-check the fuck out of him. You can see in the video, he's looking for the cross-check. He's trying to find the right moment to do it. He does it, instantly knocks him the fuck out. And I forget who the second player was that he came in to hit Larkin clean, but because he got knocked out, he ends up hitting him his head hit him in the waist area, and Larkin down on the ice. Perron, all he sees is the captain down on the ice, and he comes through and cross-checks the fuck out of Anton Zub, who wasn't even in the play. He wasn't either of the two players that had anything to do with Larkin going down, and he got fucking smashed. So, ends up getting a suspension for that, 6 games, which is a lot for a guy who's never been suspended in his career, first of all. Second of all, Matthew Joseph, who initiated the whole thing and had the first cross-check, got nothing. And he's the one that has a history, has already been suspended in the past, and has a history with Larkin specifically. It made zero sense to me.
I don't understand how that's okay. You know what I mean? How are we? How does Joseph avoid that?
How does he get Joseph nothing and Perron gets 6 games? That's a lot of games.
I
understand him getting 1 or 2 for
sure.
having the hit, but give Joseph the same thing, if not more.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous to me. I don't understand how that works. NHL suspensions are funny because usually it starts with the worst fine in the history of fines, which is $5,000, just the maximum amount allowed by the CBA,
It's
the
ridiculous.
collectively bargained agreement from the NHL, it's a big yikes. Like, it's a big yikes. I don't see how you can suspend the guy that kind of reacted to everything versus the guy who instigated
Who again
all of it.
doesn't have a history.
Yeah.
Like, look at, we just had the Draymond Green thing. He got
History.
suspended indefinitely because he has a history.
Huge history too, not just a little history. Huge history.
It just blows my mind that the one guy that got popped out of it is the one that has no priors.
Of course it is. He got lit. This is exactly what you expect from the NHL. And you know what? Since we're talking NHL, it's time to do NHL Power Rankings, brought to you by us, because we're literally us.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely. Dubs, why don't you lead us off with 30 deuce?
It is for the first time not the San Jose Sharks.
Round of applause for the Sharks, ladies and gentlemen.
They've crawled out of the cellar. That's fantastic. I remember that logo I showed you. I'm going to try to edit it and make it a little better. Clean it up a little bit for the next time that they're not 32, but it didn't cross my mind this week. Regardless, they got the Blackhawks now at 32. So they got nothing really going on besides Connor Bedard. He's been awesome. He does shit every couple games where you're like, ooh, look at that. That's a franchise player right there. Good guy. Yeah, exactly. But that's all they got.
They're not great right now.
Really
there's a lot. I think when you knew the Hawks were picking first and it was going to be, it was going to be Bedard.
Right.
They made a couple of moves that made you think that they thought they could get some wins early. Like that they thought they were going to be marginally competitive, and they are the opposite of that. And then the Corey Perry thing went to shit on them, and then everything has kind of been a disaster. And now one of your franchise leaders plays for your biggest rival, and it makes no sense. And everything is crazy. It makes zero sense at all. But the Hawks are awful.
They're bad.
31
bad
is
on
the
the
Sharks.
ice. They're bad off the ice. 31 is the Sharks.
And they just didn't move that far. They're still not great, but they're just not as bad.
They're still bad. But they've been playing competitive lately. And the Blackhawks are not. They're getting smashed. So
what do you think the Sharks' ceiling is this year for power rankings? 26, 28?
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity. They're still really bad.
Yeah.
That's not a good hockey team. They got nothing going on.
Let us know what you think. Can the Sharks get higher than 28?
I'll set the over-under is 27.5.
Yeah. At 30, we've got Quack Quack.
The Ducks, another
Ducks
team that's really bad, and this is a team that the Sharks are probably going to jump because the Ducks just can't win. They haven't won in regulation in about a month now.
They're just not playing well.
No, they're bad. Coaching, not talent, it's just not there. They have some pieces, but it doesn't look good together.
No, it doesn't. Hockey is a game where talent can only get you this far, and then you also need to add coaching, and then more players, and then cohesion.
Get your goalie hot, because
your goalie hot.
That's 70% of hockey.
It just needs. You need more always. There's never not a time where you need more, especially when you're trying to get good playing hockey. You cannot just have Connor McDavid on your team, as the Oilers point out. And number 29.
Actually, you can, apparently, because they're getting hot right now. But yeah, 29 is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Pretty much run of the mill. They're going to float between 31 and 28, 27. They've got pretty much the same ceiling as the Sharks. They're not a great team.
How do you think Johnny Hockey feels?
Probably pretty down in the dumps. I mean, Columbus, I've never been, but I'm sure it's not great, subpar at best. And the hockey's been the same. Yeah,
shout out Ohio.
Yeah, there's just nothing good in Ohio there's nothing there that I want to see. Skyline chili, no.
No
I
one
went to
likes
Kings Island once. I'm not an amusement park guy, but fuck that place too. Like even the fun shit's not great.
Oh, I love that Ohio's catching like mad strays just out
Yeah.
of
It's
they didn't even show up. They're like, what happened?
yeah.
Why are
Wait,
we
what? What happened? I
why are we getting
I've driven
roasted?
through Ohio a million different times, and the most exciting thing is the Waffle House. Like you drive by a million Waffle Houses, and you might catch a fight or two outside on the drive by.
Either, neither, both. Maine or Ohio.
Oh, Maine. I love Maine. I love Maine. I got a friend with a beach house up there, so Maine's good for me.
We like Maine. Hell yeah,
Ohio's
New
used
England.
to it.
Yeah. Ohio's used to
Exactly.
Ohio's gonna wake up tomorrow and like, why are we getting roasted by a hockey show that no one's heard of?
Remember Tiger King? And they're talking about that dude that had that shit in Ohio beforehand. Like, why the fuck is there a guy in Ohio with tigers and gorillas and lions? Because it's fucking Ohio.
Because Ohio. At number 28, release the Kraken.
Yeah. They need an influx of talent in a bad way. They just have nothing
young.
exciting on the eye. That's the thing. They're young, but they need a star or two to really start flowing together and have that young talent, learn and get better and mold and mesh. But I hope they enjoyed that playoff berth last year.
They did not. It was abysmal for them. But you know what? You got to see playoff hockey in Seattle, and that's great. You got my Canadians at 27 here.
Oh, one more thing about Seattle too, real quick. HBO Road to the Winter Classic is back tonight, chronicling the Kraken and the Golden Knights, which is hard to have a Winter Classic with two expansion teams. Not very classic, but I like I like the energy anyway.
We're gonna try.
And then Canadians. I'll let you take this one.
I mean, we're winning tonight. It's 3-2 against the Pens
for now.
Crosby's got a goal, and so does Jake Gunsel. But Savard is back. Struble, who, if you asked me who Struble was, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you, and they're my team. Monahan got a goal, and that's up. Danny Finns fan, friend of the Sportsocracy, asks, can the Flyers keep this up, or do they fall off a cliff?
They're really well coached. They got Torts. I mean, they're playing incredibly well. Connor Hart is one of those goalies that if he can get hot, anything can happen. But they play in such a difficult division, and it's only a few games that separate you from the top and the bottom of that division. Could very easily just have a couple injuries or a little skid, and I don't really think they're deep enough to withhold something like that. But anything can happen. I don't see them as like a contender, really. I could see them slipping into the playoffs as a lower seed, but
they play a ton of games in December.
Do they?
Yeah, so they've already played the Penguins twice, the Yotes, the Avs, and they just lost to the Predators on Tuesday. They play the Caps, the Wings, the Devils, the Preds, the Wings again, the Canucks, the Kraken, and the Flames. So Flames, Kraken, Preds, Caps, all like realistic chances to win.
Yeah.
The Wings are going to play you tough because they're on a roll right now. But I don't get it. They're missing guys, so they're hurt. Yeah, so you probably split it. Vancouver's the best team you're playing out of that bunch, and they'll probably hand you your ass. But and then Torts will make them do like bag drills or something the next day, and they'll be fine. I think the Flyers can. So here's the thing about Torts as a coach. Torts will get a full year out of any team before any team gives up on Torts. He will get like the best out of all of those guys for a full season, and then everyone is Seacrest out in a hurry. Usually that's how it goes. Is why he's been on so many. It's why he's been on so many different teams so often as the coach. It's because every time he gets rolling somewhere, he melts off to the wrong guy, and then he loses the locker room. And then the next season he comes back, and it's not the same magic. No one's listening to him. You can only do bag skates so often before it starts to be like, Come on, man. We're all
I
grown
always
ups
think
here.
of the scene from The Goon where Kim Coates comes onto the bus. Bag skate, bitches. 6 a.m. Doug, you're glad you're riding piss hole.
Goon is an
Fantastic
underrated movie, man. Underrated movie. Also
better than
features
Caddyshack.
Halifax. Features
Still better than
Halifax.
Caddyshack. Sure does. Halifax Highlanders.
Halifax.
Highlanders.
Canadians aren't great. Danny, we appreciate you jumping in. Always drop your questions in the chat, and we'll highlight and try and answer as best we can. Senators 26, also not very good.
Yeah, the Brady Kachuk's really good.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, and a message. Repeat the line.
Yeah.
That's about all they got. 25, we've got the Flames. Still better than Johnny Hockey.
Yeah, they are still better than Johnny Hockey. They won that breakup, but not by much. It's razor thin.
Yeah, it's a pretty thin margin. 24 is the Blues. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Flames are just another team that just doesn't excite me. There's nothing there that's going to push you over.
They should excite you because they have. They should excite you because they're talented, but they're not playing well at all. They're awful, but they shouldn't be. They really shouldn't be, but they are. The Blues just fired their coach, Craig Berube.
Berube done. Out. No Moss. I guess you are no longer welcome here.
The tribe has spoken, and out he goes. Yeah. They're at 24. They're floundering big time. They also have plenty of guys that should be able to get over the hump. Look for that.
Binnington's falling off a cliff right now.
Yeah, but someone will trade for they need to decide what they want to do. Are they a rebuild or are they like a retool?
They should scrap it.
They won't.
No, they won't. They're going to get that fired coach bump, and they're going to do that thing the Blues do, and they're going to just get back to 500. Or they just float in that 500 range on either side of it every year. That's all they've done since they won the Cup.
For anyone that's newer to hockey, the fired coach bump in football usually gets you a game. If you're lucky,
hockey gets you a couple weeks. It could extend.
Yeah, and if you get the right players that get it, that wanted this done, it could extend even further. In football, it's like a week or two at most, and then it's out. But in hockey, you can ride that wave for a month realistically and get going. It's your favorite team ever at 23, Minnesota Wild.
The Minnesota Wild, ugly color scheme, ugly everything, and they were. We just talked about fire coach bump. They were the last team to fire their coach, and they got a couple weeks out of it, a couple good wins, and now they are starting to come back down to earth. They've lost their last two. I do think they're better than I originally had them. I think the first couple weeks, I had them down at like 29, 20. Yeah, they're better than that. They're proving it, but I still don't really see them as a playoff team.
Yeah, they're on the outside looking in.
They're another team that has struggled with goaltending this year. And they shouldn't be. Like, they have Fleury.
He should be fun. He might be past his primo.
Yeah, but we've said that a million different times. And then...
I know. But eventually it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, eventually. That's what happened with fucking Luongo.
That's true.
Remember how many times we did that with him? Just like, he's done, he's cooked, and then he shows up and stands on his head for...
Yeah, but he's a funny guy, so he gets the comedy bump.
Right. I hated that guy because of the
playoff
fucking Canucks.
Yeah. That was an incredible series, though.
It was fantastic. I didn't realize how peak hockey it was at the time, but
it was like the best you could get. It was the best hockey you could get. And then Vancouver set itself on fire after. So
how many of those guys fell off a cliff from that team too? Alexander Edler. There's another defender I'm trying to think of, but the Burrows.
You know why?
Just dropped off a cliff.
Do you know why that happens?
What's that?
Because everyone that goes through a playoff series, you want to talk about, and this was kind of brought up on the main show today, guys that are tough, hockey guys.
Yeah. Barclay Goodrow spitting out his fucking jaw.
I'm going to give you a Canadians example because it was probably the most recent that we can think of. Shea Weber played an entire playoff series right to the Stanley Cup final on no ankles. and I don't mean like they didn't exist. I mean they were both like
Gone.
like broken, bruised. Like I think they were like they're basically held together with tape.
Right. I got 3 right off the rip for you from the Bruins. Patrice Bergeron punctured lung all through the playoffs, and we played the Blackhawks in the finals. Gregory Campbell played that whole minute with a broken fucking leg on the penalty kill and killed the penalty off. Rich Peverly, he was with the Stars at the time, died on the fucking bench and tried to come back into the game.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you just had a heart attack, sir. You need to go to the hospital. You cannot.
This is why hockey guys will fight through every single injury. There is no protection for them at the end of the playoffs. So at the end of that Vancouver Boston series, they had nothing left to give. There was everything they had was in that 7 games. And they came out on the losing end, which is great for the Bees, and it was huge for Boston.
Mark Recchi's last ride.
It absolutely crushed them, not just to lose, the like emotional toll of it, but physically you play all those games and that's it. When you play as many games, and Montreal did this against Tampa, and they're like, well, Tampa's just the better team. It's like, well, yeah, but also like what the Habs had to do to get there was so tough. It was so tough. And we see it every single year. It's not like Vegas got through the playoffs unscathed. Colorado was decimated when they won. It's every team that goes through. When you get to the end of the finals, it's incredibly hard to do that with no injuries whatsoever. 82 games and then 16 wins. 16 wins is not for the faint of heart. And
how many hockey series go 7 games? The fucking Kraken, who were at the bottom of the power rankings, won 7 games with Colorado last year.
Yeah. Hockey is the most superior sport, and we will stand by that. I lost my place in the Sabres 22.
Yeah, I hate this team. They lost 7 of their past 11. They can't figure out what they're doing in goalie. They're putting Devin Levi back out there to start, and as I told you, that guy fucking sucks.
He needs time in the minors. He needs time.
He does. He's not ready yet, and they're gonna ruin his confidence.
They're gonna Nathan Peterman him.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna shoot his confidence.
Yeah, they're Dunzo. I don't like that. Tage Thompson's back though, so.
University of Phoenix online at 21. The Coyotes.
Yeah, they lost 4 straight. Clinton Keller's disappeared.
This team is going to yo-yo.
As soon as they start going, where they fucking fall back down. Yeah, yo-yo, just like you said.
I miss the Shane Doan Coyotes.
Me too. Shane Doan was a stud.
Yeah, he was. They used to win. They used to win games, and these guys don't. They suck. They suck. Pens currently losing to my Habs.
Another team, yo-yo. They win 1 game and lose a game. They're the definition of 500.
They will end up in the playoffs somehow, though.
100%. They'll make a push at the end, and then anything can happen because it's the Penguins, and they have Crosby and Malkin and Gensel and
100%. Islanders at 19. We're just blowing through this so we can actually end on time. We got caught up in some passionate. I was mad at Shohei, and then are talking about Game 7.
We got no time limit. We're fucking. It's our goddamn show, Armchair. We're in here. It's a Wednesday night.
We're here. People. We out here.
The Islanders are number 19. They're 4-0-1 in December so far. A team that just kind of floundered in the start of the year. Just looked like nothing could go right for them. They're finally starting to hit their stride.
Yeah.
And they're another team that's just full of fucking veterans, and they could just slip into the playoffs and be a tough out. But I don't know. They're another team.
Absolutely. The Predators at 18.
They keep killing it. Saros has been on a fucking mission lately. He's got like a 95% save percentage in his last 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. Forsberg's playing like a Hart candidate.
They're a good team. Yeah, Joyner, you did.
You did miss Angry Armchair. 15 minutes at the start of the show.
When the
John Heyman.
When the VOD is posted, you'll have to see it. Honestly, I told Dubs that I may get banned from coming back to America, which would suck. But
no, you're good. You got a Team America get out of jail free card. You're gonna be
all right. I got my amigos. Back,
you come to the border and sing the song. We'll let you in one time.
Yeah. I'll say something about I'm not a bad hombre, and someone will let me in, right?
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll get you through. Armchair Does
7
America.
Jesus, the American tour. Sportsocracy, the Ocho on tour. Coming to Ohio. The Skyline Chili Factory.
Dayton, Ohio.
Everything
A
sucks
factory
here.
of sadness.
Ohio got a bunch of strays, Joiner. That's what you missed.
Sunday. Worse than Saturday in Dayton, Ohio.
Nobody wants to go to Dayton.
No,
The
wants to go
Lightning
to
at 17.
Tampa Bay, they're old. They got no depth. They're a team I think might miss the playoffs.
They're going to fuck if they miss the playoffs.
Me too. I think they're just going to fuck around and they just don't play up to their potential ever. And we talked about the Warriors earlier too. It's like the same kind of thing. It's just the dynasty is aging out, and Kucherov's really good. He's about the only person playing well for you right now.
He is super good. The Virginia adjacent Capitals, or the Washington adjacent Capitals, I guess, from Virginia, live from Virginia.
Got an Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim kind of scenario going on here.
Absolutely. They're at 16, right in the middle, which is about where they're playing right now.
Yet they're tied with the Sharks for the least amount of goals in the league. They have the worst power play, and Ovechkin has 5 goals on the season. And somehow they're still just kind of floating through in the middle. Which again, just like the Penguins, they might get a fire coach bump. You got to time it right. Got to do it right before the trade deadline. Get the boys rolling, and then
grab a couple of bets.
Exactly. Make another cup run. And they're the same thing as the fucking Penguins. All they need to do is get in, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to talk about, Ovechkin's in the playoffs. Might be a problem. And then they'll probably get bounced in the first round because they're the Washington Capitals.
Sorry, Toe. Steven Tao loves the Caps. I think it's Tao that loves the Caps. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wings at 15.
3-game skid after Patrick Kane. But now they're picking it back up.
Shout out to the Red Wings for signing their biggest rival from the last
Yeah, that's super fun. It's like Alex Verdugo traded to the Yankees.
It's Optimus Prime being a Decepticon. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. It's like Starscream joined the Autobots is what it is. It's like, all right.
Hey guys, I'm a good guy now.
I'm a good guy.
Just a little face turn.
Yeah.
Starscream face turn.
It's pretty impressive. Shout out Patrick Rutch for not showing up to any of our shows yet. Where he's going to catch a stray here. You catch a stray. No droppings on our lives yet. You're catching strays. You come in, you can uncatch it. The Oilers at 14.
Also, while we're on it, Pistons. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's real bad. They're real bad.
Yeah, we should send them to the G League. I think the Ignite would be better. 14 is the Edmonton Oilers. They're on an 8-game win streak. Connor McDavid is playing out of his fucking skull. If he took his last, I think it's 7 games, and paced out his points, it would be a 200 point season over his last.
If you have someone that they're like, I'm not a fan of hockey. Find some Connor McDavid skating through everybody clips.
2-3 minutes, so something short. Keep their attention.
Yeah, and then find some Shoresy clips or something, some guys beating each other up.
Yeah,
and then you'll bring them in. That's the only way to do it, because otherwise I don't get it.
Show him the Shoresy clips where he's talking shit to the kid while he's reffing Friday Night Hockey.
Yeah,
that, and then Connor McDavid highlights, and then the Bork goal. Or the Bobby Orr goal, excuse me.
The Bobby Orr goal,
Bobby Orr goal. Yeah. And then, they'll be all caught up. Be ready to go.
Now you got your hockey education. You're set. The Devils at 13.
It's like when they show you a 30-second preview on a song back in the day when you'd buy shit on fucking Apple.
Yeah.
You're I think I like it. I like the chorus. Yeah. Anyway, number 12 or 13, excuse me, 13. Is the New Jersey Devils. Need new Shoresy ASAP. That's a fact. Timo Meier, it has not been Timo time in New Jersey. No. He's been pretty much non-existent there so far in his first full season with the Devils. However, the rest of the team's really starting to pick it up lately. They're the offense is doing what we expected it to, but I'm going to say it every time. I don't trust anything you have in net.
No, they need a goalie, and they'll figure it out eventually.
But how long are we just going to sit in
Montreal's got 3.
this
Come on.
mid area until we actually do something?
Until it's desperation time.
Right, but their division is so winnable. Like, they could just come out here and make a trade, and then all of a sudden they go on a run. Like, I don't know.
They don't give a shit. They'll do it when they do it. It's not going to be anytime soon, though. Unfortunately. The Canes at 12.
Another team. Goalie's horrific. And did you see it was the Sens. It was Brady Tkachuk. Kachetkov goes to dives at him on the penalty shot, and then Tkachuk comes up like, what the fuck was that, dude?
Yeah, it's so
what'd you think?
I played a lot of ball hockey as a kid here.
It was a total ball hockey. It was a floor hockey save.
And you will see all of the hot dogging on planet Earth is like amplified in ball hockey because everyone thinks that they're Pavel Bure with like Mark Messier and Jaromir Jagr all at once. So everybody's trying to do like super dangles. And I always played goalie because Patrick Roy was my idol growing up. And I absolutely, my poke check was lethal. You know Assassin's Creed where you got the things that come out of your like thing? So that was like my goalie stick. It just like, it went from like, I had like an extra long handle too. So like, I would get extra length on it. And it was just like, all of a sudden a big poke check comes out. People hated it too, because if they were on rollerblades, they're eating pavement. Sorry,
that's man, my game in Shell. If you play me in Shell, you're getting poke checked 3,000 times over the course of the game, and you're gonna get so fucking mad. That controller's getting over 2.5 spikes of the controller if you play me in Shell.
Big time spikes.
I may only score twice, but you won't score at all.
Yeah, get ready to get poke check. Poke check.
Poke check.
I'm all
clear
for
the fucking puck just because.
I am all for goalie player rivalries. I think that we need more of them.
Yeah, love it. Goalie goals are the best. Why not? Goalie fights are even better.
Yeah.
How about goalie rivalries? Let's do it.
Yeah, we need more. The aforementioned Flyers from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean we kind of hit on them already.
They're flying.
Really. Yeah, they're doing pretty good right now. I think
they're
in a pretty hard
spot.
cap.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. Our top 10 brought to you by whatever Dubs is smoking tonight. The Stars.
They got me here. We're 47 minutes in.
Yeah.
Did the job.
The Stars are number 10. They've kind of fallen out of favor the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and again, it just goes back to that same thing. Ottinger's been horrific the last month. It's hard to win games when your goalie's letting in. I have the number. 5.48 goals above average in December so far.
That's a lot of goals. It's a lot of goals. Ottinger needs to be. I mean, he is the star on that team. He is the guy.
Right. And I've seen him be the guy.
That team goes as he goes. We've seen how many playoff games was it that was like nothing games that he had where it was like crazy shutout streaks. He was just
standing on his fucking head.
He was the guy. He was always killing it. And they wouldn't be able to score, but he would keep you in it. And right now he's keeping you nowhere near it. And that's a problem because you can't score either.
They're a team that's going to need to add something too, whether it's another scorer or another defensive piece. They need something.
They need a lot of things, but right now they're playing top 10 worthy. The Avs at number 9.
Yeah, so the Avalanche, it's kind of similar to Tampa Bay. Yeah. They have a lot of injuries and they don't have a lot of depth, and that's a recipe for disaster. They're good is fantastic. Like when they're clicking and McKinnon's doing his shit and Rantanen's playing there's maybe not a better team in the league, but I just have not seen enough of it. They're when they lose, they're getting blown out, and they're winning really close games. And need better goaltending. Makar is good. Makar is the fucking guy.
He could retire right now and be a Hall of Famer. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. He can retire right now and go to the Hall, which is ridiculous. He's 25.
The Jets are next at number 8. They just lost Connor out 6 to 8 weeks after Dylan Strome's knee on knee. I don't. So you skate?
Knee on knee.
You skate?
No, I don't. I can't skate for shit.
So as someone who grew up skating and like
you would think I would. I live 2 seconds from a lake and it's frozen.
Doesn't matter. I grew up in a family, like a military family, not a lot of money, and I always wanted to play hockey. And my mom was like, "There's no way I can afford that." So she thought the way to deter me from that was to put me into figure skating. Just like, no one's gonna want to figure skate. You're not gonna want to do that.
It's provocative.
So instead of taking it as like, I'm not going to do that, I went and learned to be the best skater possible. So I actually learned how to properly like do everything that you would do, and then I ended.
Axel?
I can do an axle. I can't do a triple. Those guys are like, those guys are proper athletes, and I am not. But when I'm in the rink, I can rip around and I can do whatever because I learned to skate the right way, like proper skating technique, not just hockey skating. I don't know how you avoid or don't avoid knee to knee when you're skating, because when you're skating, your knees are not pointed out ever. If your knee is pointed out, you're going the wrong way.
Right.
Like you're about to hit
sense.
your ass.
Right.
Your feet are typically pointed inward, so you can do it.
That makes sense.
Kelvin Joyner comes in. This is goated as well.
The Orlando Solar Bears.
Solar Bears are
fantastic.
They're pretty fantastic. So Jets lose Connor. Hellebuck is still playing out of his head. They're a good team, but that's a loss for sure.
I wonder how much a Solar Bears jersey would run me.
We get a donation for Dubs.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
If you want to gift us Solar Bear jerseys,
a little Christmas gift for the boy.
Hook a brother up.
That one's so ugly. That one would be fantastic. $300. Holy fuck! It's hand knit though. It's hand knit. Somebody took time for that.
Dubs shopping on Etsy while we're trying to do power rankings.
Poshmark, but close. It's worse, I think. Number 8, the Winnipeg Jets. They lost Kyle Connor 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to go ahead and halt you in your tracks. Enjoy your top 10 while you have it. It's probably the last time we're going to see them up there for a little bit. And they were playing so well before that, too. It's a damn shame.
It's brutal. It's not fun. I feel bad for him. And then you got
7 going to live in Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's.
It's like the Ohio of Canada.
It really is. Shout out Winterpeg. It's just cold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know nothing about it. What the fuck is there? Nothing?
It's the Jets.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Okay.
It's
That's
cold.
What I thought.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are there. The CFL.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Number 7, the Maple Leafs.
Future home of McCorkle Jones. Kachuk has hit the 40-goal mark in each of his seasons so far.
Oh, you skipped the Leafs.
You skipped the Leafs. Oh, did I? Fuck you right. I went right to the Panthers. The Leafs are 3-0-1 this week. I had to keep moving them up.
Barely.
I had them at like 11, and I just kept.
I know.
Ticking them up the clock.
You know I can't stand them. Matthews had a
horrible
horrible night, though. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I missed that shit. Wasn't there some suspension with the Leafs too? Off of Matthews' hit? I don't know. There was some shit that happened there. I missed that. But regardless, the Leafs are at 7. They're still playing well. They're winning in regulation too, which they couldn't do before. So,
I mean, they're fine. The Leafs are going to be measured by how they perform in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL.
Yeah. You can get an adult replica for $206.
Sweet. I'm gonna send me that. We're gonna be looking into that. Kachuk, I can shit on Matt Kachuk. He's had 40 goals his last 2 seasons. He's on pace for 15 this year.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Is your hate for the Panthers more than your hate for Minnesota Wild's color scheme?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Does it bother you that they're as good as they are?
Yeah,
they're lot. 6. I mean, they're
yeah.
Unfortunately, they're like actually talented and can win.
And I have nothing to say to them. They hold beachfront property in my head right now.
Yeah,
Sunrise, Florida property in my head right now, which is a made up town. Go to a real fucking city. Sunrise, Florida. Are you kidding me?
Shout out Sunrise. The Knuckleheads at number 5.
Yeah, they're falling a little bit.
They'll be fine.
The Hughes Bowl was fun.
It wasn't like the Kachuk Bowl.
No, the Kachuk Bowl is aggressive. The Hughes Bowl was very civilized, taking pictures. It was a family event. The Kachuk Bowl is pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, that's because their father wasn't exactly a saint. Keith wasn't out here handing out turkeys at Thanksgiving.
Your name's Keith Kachuk. There's no way you're like
knuckle sandwiches more likely on the menu. The Kings down big from last week. They were number 1 this week
because they had a perfect record on the road. Drew Doughty was killing it. Just, like everything was going right for them. They were bound to fall off a little bit. They're down to 4 this week. Yeah, they didn't have the week that they should have, and I feel like this might kind of balance them out a little bit because I did think they're playing well over their potential, but
they were.
We'll see. I could very easily be wrong, and they'll be right back up here next week.
Rangers at number 3.
Another team with a tough week.
Team.
Yeah. Panarin is carrying the team.
Yeah,
Panarin and Chris Kreider account for like 38% of their goals or some shit.
Shout out Capo Caco for making the same amount as Shohei Ohtani next season.
He gonna throw that on the accolades.
Noted
on the Wikipedia page. Made as much money as Shohei Ohtani.
Noted massive NHL superstar Capo Caco making $2 million.
Shout out Bertle B. Macklin and my co-host for the Stone Sports podcast. He has lovingly coined Capo Caco as the Finnish fuck slab, which is a fantastic nickname.
Oh yeah,
that's all I refer to him as now. But the Rangers have been outscored 17-5 in their last 4 games, so they're hitting the skid, and they got to come see us on Saturday. So
that'll be a good game. Hashtag spoiler alert. Hashtag
yeah. Number 2 is the Knights. Jack Eichel killing it right now. He's on an 8-game point streak with 13 points over those 8 games. They were 4-0-0 last week. Yeah, they fell hard in November, and they kind of started putting it back together at the end of the month, and now they're right back to where they were. They're one of the best teams in the league. I think they are better than the Bruins, but currently they're just beneath them in the power rankings.
And that's because the Bruins are
number 1 this week. Boston Bruins are absolutely killing it. Pasternak leading the way on offense. We are averaging 3.31 goals per game. Swayman, 93% save percentage, and only allowing 2.5 goals as a team. It's a recipe for success. Do I think it's going to continue? I'm not 100% sure. As we've said in the past, I think we're bound to fall off a little bit, but well-coached team, good chemistry, and all the guys we brought in are killing it. Van Riemsdyk's playing way better than I thought he would.
You're having a good couple of weeks. I mean, you're 5-4-1 in your last 10, but you're having a good run right now. And I mean, it's not like they're bad. Listen, I joke around and say, no homer here. They are first in the Atlantic. It's not like we put some like schmuck at number 1 and we're like, no, it's the Bruins. Like, no, they're actually first in the Atlantic. And the Golden Knights are first in the Pacific. They've played 30 games to the Bruins 26. So I feel like it's justified. And
we gave them the assist.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be where they were if we didn't just give them Bruce Cassidy.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So shout out to us for that. It's very
and
nice
shout out
of
to the
us.
Solar Bears. Solar Bears, if you ever want to sponsor, let us know. We will happily take your money.
Yeah,
I'll wear
absolutely.
Solar Bear gear all day
I'll
long.
cake a Solar Bears logo right over there. Yeah, like the Ricky Bobby with the fucking Fig Newtons right across the windshield. I'll do that with the Solar Bears. Don't you worry. So it was kind of fake news. He skated with the team. There was potential he was going to be the emergency backup goalie. Tuukka Rask skated with the Bruins this week. He ended up not having to do it. Swayman was able to serve as the backup, but he was super sick, and that was why they were potentially going to do it. But
which would have been fine. It would have been a nice story, but
it would have been fun. But yeah, Tuukka's done.
He's unfortunately he is past his primo as well, but incredible legacy for Mr. Rask. Go for it.
Before we we can do game of the week. Before we get out of here, I have a list of sports shit that Ohtani's worth more than. I just want to rattle some of them off before we get out of here. But yeah, let's do game of the week.
Yeah. Shout out Long Drink though.
Shout out Long Drink. Classic.
Game of the week.
Let's get them sponsoring us.
Let's get anybody sponsoring us.
I'll hit them up.
You think I give a shit whose money pays us? You think I'm that guy?
Yeah.
You know me. What do you got for game of the week?
So I think I got to make sure the day's right. It is Thursday. Tomorrow, Panthers at Canucks. That's going to be my game of the week. I assume you're going with the Bruins and Rangers, because if not, I'll give that one a little shout out too, because that's going to be an absolute heater on Saturday.
So Bruins and Rangers is really interesting because the Bruins play the Islanders the day before.
The Rangers play the Ducks.
They're
both coming off back-to-backs.
Yeah. Two teams coming off back-to-backs, and that's tough. That's tough. And I think both the Islanders are riding high right now. They're 7-1-2. I think their last 10, and the Bruins are trying to get it done. The Rangers are a great team, so those are two games I'd kind of keep focus on. All right, it's last call. It's time for you to talk about.
Let's do it.
You want to talk about this? Shohei Ohtani is deferring $680 million of his salary, which means that every season he is only going to be making $2 million.
It's crazy. $2 million is like nothing, and like now they can go sign 3 other, however many people they want now, because Ohtani's going to take less money
because it doesn't matter,
right? But so I have a bunch of different ways Shohei's $700 million deal shattered sports history. It's the largest known contract in sports history. Messi had the leaked $670 million contract. Ronaldo had some crazy shit like that too. Worth more than those of his 2 highest paid teammates combined, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, their contracts combined do not equal up to Ohtani's, which... Can you imagine Mookie going to his agent and just being like, the fuck? Hey.
And his agent says, learn to pitch.
Can you throw a ball? Although it's Mookie, so he probably can.
He probably can.
We just don't even know about it.
PBA,
costs
though.
Ohtani's deal costs about a third of what the Dodgers cost. The AAV is larger than 4 current MLB payrolls. The Reds, Royals, Pirates, A's, all that, like his yearly average is more than 4 payrolls in the league. That's fucking crazy. It's worth more than the previous largest MLB, NFL, and NBA free agent deals combined. Costs more than 2 stadiums. Costs more than every Andrew Friedman Rays payroll combined. Every person he brought in for the Rays ever cost less than what he just paid Ohtani. And last but not least, outweighs 6 NHL teams in value. So you can buy 6 teams.
More than the Coyotes are worth.
Yeah. More than the University of Phoenix Online Arizona Coyotes of Arizona, of Flagstaff.
It's been, hey, I'm glad you're back. Feeling better.
Full health.
This is a much better feeling show.
I thought the Lord may have taken me last week.
Well, you're back, or you're AI, and we don't notice the difference. One or the other.
One of my eyes starts twitching. They like overanalyze. You remember that Katy Perry shit? They're like, she's a robot. Or Avril Lavigne,
Yeah. Okay.
Canadian Hall of Famer, Avril Lavigne,
Canadian Hall of Famer, along with Biebs and Drake and Nickelback and.
She went in with Connor McDavid last week.
Probably.
It's a star-studded class, if you ask me.
Yes. We just got to get stars on the walk so that we can start building it. We're not picky at the beginning.
Maybe use it as a recruiting block for the next show. Hey,
yeah, it's not going to happen.
100 years from now.
Yeah. If you're new to the show, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. We had 100, and then someone left, and then I'm like, well, that's kind of rude.
Oh, well,
don't
fuck
be a
that
dick.
guy.
Just hit the sub and then leave it. Subscribe. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, somebody click subscribe right now. Do it. Put it over.
If you're watching and you want to watch on Facebook, you can watch it on Facebook on the Armchair commentary page. I
don't have a Facebook either, so you can talk shit about me over there. I'll never know.
Well, no, you will, because it'll show up in the comments.
They all come through here?
Everything comes through here. Look at Dubs being amazed by the technology. God, you're a pothead.
God damn. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I can't believe that.
Everything is all here.
The whole first fucking chat, I just had it on the private chat. I didn't even know I could read the comments. I was like, where's he just pulling these from? Has he got like director's edition over there?
Yeah. So we're on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. We are every single Wednesday. We'll probably have a Christmas break at some point, I guess. Probably. What's Wednesday like? Oh, yeah. Look, we break easy. Next week's the 20th, then the 27th. We're after Christmas. We'll be fine.
Fuck yeah. Nailed it. We're good.
We just keep going. Yeah. So please hit that out.
Stop. No breaks.
Share it out. Share it out with people that you know. Let's blow this thing up. If anybody does, and truth be told, if anybody does know someone that's looking for a place to get some sponsorship, reach out to us. We are cheap.
I'll push it. Yeah, I'll push the fuck out of it.
Very cheap.
So cheap. I plug shit. Like if I go into a public bathroom, I'll be like, "Hey, everyone in here, by the way, just so you know." On record of doing it before in the past, I will push the fuck out of your product.
All right. For Dubs, I am Armchair. Thank you for watching the Ocho this week. We will be back next Wednesday where hopefully some mega superstar doesn't break my heart.
Can confirm. Multiple can confirms. See?
Fantastic.
There we go.
Everybody be well. Peace.